Guided meditation, selflessness. One of our key focuses in the Hamblin Vision is considering areas of spiritual practice in daily life. We all have some general idea of what spirituality is. It's certainly more of a way of life than a religion, and we'll meditate more on this separately. In this meditation, I'd like us to focus on the aspect of selflessness. All will be explained. So, find a comfortable position, lying or sitting, and make sure that you'll be warm, undisturbed, and relaxed for these next few minutes. If you're sitting, try to keep your back straight and supporting. Remember the golden cord of light supporting your head and holding your back straight throughout this meditation. Relax. Now, as usual, focus on your breathing. Breathing naturally, but quite deeply, through your nose. Breathing in for 3 and out for 5. Also, notice the turn point between the in and out breaths. Focus on these turns, making them as smooth as possible. Focus on your breathing. So, can you think about and focus on some activity that you've been involved in during the previous week? An activity where there was some form of outcome or result, when something was achieved, either by you personally or perhaps by a group you were involved with. Think about that for a moment and select your activity to focus on. Now, thinking about this chosen activity, focus on the outcome or the end result. Who benefited most from this result? Was it you? Or was it someone else? Or was it of general benefit for the team or group? Think about it carefully. Perhaps one individual benefited more than others. How do you stand in all this? Think about it. Okay, so the results of that consideration will vary depending on the example. Now, I want you to think of another example. It could be from work or at home, anything where the result definitely benefited you more than others. It could be a simple or quite complex outcome of a result, but it was absolutely in your favour. Think about that for a moment and select an example. I hope you've managed to select something. It could be getting agreement or permission to do something, or winning some form of argument or discussion. Think about the detail, about how the situation developed towards the conclusion in your favour. Was everyone happy with the result? Be honest. Did the fact of you succeeding make it harder in any ways for others, or maybe an other? Think it through. So, maybe someone did lose as a result of your success. If so, how do you think they felt? Does it matter how they felt? It's certainly a consideration. Take a moment to review the example again in meditation and consider the outcomes. All of them. The next stage is to think of some activity you've been involved in where you were working as part of a team. It could be a small group, or it could be a complete department at work, progressing together to achieve some agreed objective or outcome. Try to think of an example. And how did it work? Were there disagreements along the way? Did you manage to influence the group to agree with your ideas? Or did you have to agree to others' ideas? Maybe a bit of both. Think through some of the details. Were all the team members happy with the results? Or were some more so than others? And thinking about yourself, was there any part of the activity where you decided to positively accept the ideas of others and go along with their suggested action, regardless of its effect on you? If so, that's when you're beginning to act in a selfless way. It happens when you agree to an action or outcome, regardless of how it affects you, even negatively. Sometimes you can agree to some outcome which doesn't really affect you very much either way. That's an easy way to be selfless. But it will be good practice for a future situation, maybe a more important or complicated situation, where agreeing to an outcome which perhaps affects you badly, though the result is for the overall common good, where it can really be considered to be a selfless act on your part. Not to gain brownie points, more to ensure that things can progress for the common good. That's being selfless. Consider that during these few moments of silence. Selflessness involves considering and positively accepting outcomes which you consider to be for the overall benefit of all, even though it might put you at some degree of disadvantage. It may be hard to accept at times and requires a fairly objective outlook towards life, but it's a spiritual practice which will undoubtedly benefit the common good. As such, it is to be commended. As a closing exercise, give some thought to a situation you are currently involved with, or foresee yourself soon to be involved with, where an attitude of selflessness could be applied for the overall benefit. Think about how you may achieve it. File these thoughts away in your mind, in your heart, and don't be afraid to bring them forward for use in the future when the time is right. Blessing.